Ain't God arranged? Shake your neighbor's hand and tell your neighbor, be careful who you hang around. Did you hear me? Yes. Sometime in Mississippi, I just watched the birds, how they leave the north coming south, and they're flocking together. But I've never seen birds of a different feather flocking together. Did you hear me? I never seen bluebirds flocking with jaybirds. I never seen buzzards flocking with eagles. Shake your neighbor's hand and tell them, neighbor, be careful who you hang around, because birds of the same feather sure will flock together. Did you hear me? And he kept on dreaming, and they put him in the pit, thinking that they were going to stop the dream of the dreamer. But look at the Lord working. Is there anybody here that know that all things work together for the good to them who love the Lord? Come on, help me get the word. Look at your neighbor and tell them, all things work together for the good of them that love the Lord. Did you hear me? And who are the called according to his purpose? Can I preach a little while? Yeah, they put him in the pit, but the Lord wasn't through, because when you read the text, everywhere Joseph went, the Bible said, and the Lord was with him. Is that good news? I said, is that good news? And the Lord was with him in the pit. The Lord was with him, but he went from the pit. They sold him into slavery. Do I have any Bible readers? Went from the pit to Potiphar's house. Even in Potiphar's house, he moved up in his rank. Shake somebody's hand and tell them, neighbor, I ought to move up because favor is on my life. Yeah. But then Joe was a good-looking boy, about 17 years old, a good-looking Hebrew boy. Sister Potiphar started winking her eye at old Joe. Listen at her. If you really want to get blessed, if you really want to move up, we ain't got to tell nobody. Mr. Potiphar ain't got to know about it. You know what they say, keep it on the down low. Did you hear me? But oh, Joe had integrity. Did you hear what I'm saying? Sister Potiphar tried to get to him. He ran, and she grabbed his coat. Did you hear what I said? And then she lied. Did you hear me? And Joe got in trouble. Went from the pit to Potiphar to the prison. Now look at it here now. He wouldn't have got in trouble if he had gone on and did it. You know, it's strange. I've gotten in more trouble over things I didn't do than things I have. Some of the wrong I've done, the Lord kept it under wraps. Some of the sin, don't look at me funny. You know, if it had not been for the Lord who kept it covered, who was on your side, do I have a witness that thank God that he will cover you. Shake your neighbor's hand and tell him, neighbor, he will cover you. Yeah. I'm going to preach a little while. Is that all right? Yeah. If he had gone on and did it, he would have been up in a higher position. But he got in trouble. Is there anybody here like me? You got in more trouble over stuff folk said you did and you didn't do it than the things you really did. If you really knew the things I've done wrong, you'd really have something to talk about. But hush your mouth about the things that you don't know what you're talking about. He went to the prison, but the Lord was right there with him. Ain't God all right? Is there anybody here who know that the Lord will stay right there with you? Shake 3 people's hands and tell them, neighbor, he will. Neighbor, he will stay right there with you. Neighbor, he will. He will. He will. Oh. Won't he do it? Look at him now down in the prison. Went from the pit to Potiphar to the prison. But that's not the end of the story. One day Pharaoh had a dream and nobody could interpret it. But they found old Joe down in prison who interpreted the dream. He went from the pit to Potiphar to prison and to the palace. Shake your neighbor's hand and tell him, neighbor, I'm on my way to the palace. I may be in the pit. I may be at Potiphar. I may be in prison. I'm on my way. Is there anybody here? I feel all right. I feel like hooping here. Can I hoop? Can I hoop? Ask your neighbor, can he hoop tonight? Yeah. I believe I'll just hoop a little while. I'm on my way. Better days are ahead. Is there anybody here can see far in the distance? Better days. Give somebody a high five and tell them better days. Better days. Ow. Hey, hey. Better days. Better days. Yeah. Yeah. Better days. Better. Just shake hands all around you. Tell them better days. Better days. Better. I've been through the storm and rain. I've had heartache and pain. But tell your neighbor it ain't over. It ain't over. Better. I've been in trouble. I've been in problem situations. But it ain't over.